What's going on, everybody? It is time for a vacation edition of Blunt Force Logic. Don't know how the internet's going to be. It's going to be short. Come on and join. Start sharing it out there. I've got some things to say. What's going on, everybody? I have no idea what this looks like. Say hi to Kelly in the back. Hi, Kelly. All right, I'm on vacation, but I have some things I have to say because last night it's been eating at me since I watched the King Randall stuff on Fox News and what he's going through as a guest on Changemakers, as somebody that's actually creating change in the world. It has to be said. His story has to be shared. Do me a huge favor. Start sharing this out there. Hit the like button. We've got a decent amount of people watching, trying to break the algorithm. Please. Sweet love, Mary and Joseph. Combine all thing. Do me a favor, hit the like button, and please, God, share. Because as you can see, I was watching Anomaly the other day. Anomaly, who's got 1.4 million followers, obviously conservative messaging, quote unquote conspiracies. He had 900 people watching, which mathematically makes zero sense. It shows how much social media is fighting to keep our voices silent. So please hit the share button. So I don't know if I'm super pixelated. If I am, I apologize. But I'm on a Costa Rican Wi-Fi. But there's too much to talk about, so I got to go. So a couple things I want to cover. I want to talk about King Randall and the absolute abhorrent Albany, Georgia school board and what's going on there. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the story coming from Microsoft News as well as Fox News. And there's some issues with the Fauci Ouchi that I can't really talk about. But as you can see, I'm going to suggest that you guys go to David Harris's page on Facebook. He did his last video. It's entitled, They Don't Want Us to Hear. Make sure you check that out. And of course, there's photos and videos continuing to emerge from the 6th of January. And I finally feel safe enough to speak about the fact that everything that you see is absolute and utter bullshit from the 6th. I've been saying it since I went there on the 6th with Cash. And yes, Cash went inside of a building, but as we're seeing videos, cops were being friendly, letting people in. There's new videos that I put on the BetheChange page earlier. I encourage you to share. Anybody being held for trespassing, for breaking and entering, should be let go at this point. And it's very clear, not a soul has been charged with insurrection, let alone an armed insurrection, yet they're trying to pass billions of dollars to protect the Capitol. From who? Who are they protecting the Capitol from? It's utter and complete bullshit. And yes, Stacy, free Cash Kelly. Glad I look good. Thanks, Nix. Not yet. Little Hawaiian shirt. Funny enough, you don't even notice it, but this bad boy has the Statue of Liberty throughout it. It's like an American Hawaiian shirt. All right. So I want to really quick let you guys know, and if you don't follow King Randall, it's called New Emerging King on Instagram. We had him on Changemakers. He's 21 years old, and what he's going through is utter and complete proof that these small town, bad neighborhood, liberal school boards are destroying the opportunity for this country to create actual change amongst its youth. So the X for Boys schools with King Randall, 21 years old, is actually trying to open. He's been talking about it. He has actually been doing it without a school. He talked about it on Changemakers, where it was like, this school is perfect. This is where he lost his spelling bee when he was younger. It was a place that was being destroyed anyways. It was literally condemned, and he was going to buy it on pennies on the dollar. And now, out of nowhere, they're asking for $500,000. But it goes past that because he has got unique ways of teaching, because the students that he is having are not actually like, oh, we're going to pull some students from the local public schools that'll affect tax dollars. No, these are kids that have been incarcerated. These are kids that have dropped out. And he is actually bringing those over, creating real effing change in the community. And what are they doing? What are they doing, ladies and gentlemen? They are thwarting this effort and referring to it as a competition. So I want to give a real quick idea of what they talked about on Fox News Please go follow King Randall. It's I'm emerging king. It actually you'll be able to see the video he actually did on Facebook too. So this is what happened. King Randall, he was on Lawrence Jones on Fox News Primetime, discussed his organization, believes his organization is doing a better job than the government or the media at holding elected leaders accountable for systemic problems in local communities. Like Albany, Georgia, one of the highest crime areas in the country, used to be considered the worst city, one of the worst cities, if not the worst city in the country. He said, I feel like I'm watching media, looking on social media, and it's kind of taking us backwards because we're not actually holding leaders accountable. We're pointing fingers. Randall told Jones that in Albany, the Doherty County schools were planning to demolish a school building that he wanted to purchase and use as a charter school for the youth in his program. However, it appears as though the district is, in his words, afraid of the quote-unquote competition, which they actually talked about in the actual meeting. I work with children, been working with them for 2 years now. He's 21, might I add, 21 years old, military veteran, and he has taken it upon himself to create real change in the community. And what is the community doing with local officials, liberal leaders? They're stopping him because of competition. So we've been working with these kids for 2 years, started temporary custody of some of these children at his home, work with children that have been molested, sexually abused, starved at home, etc., which have led them to a life of crime in some cases just neglect. We're in the process of opening a school for these children in the city of Albany. They've been purchasing this school from the local school system and been working on the deal for 7 months. So he's been telling these kids and these parents, just wait, we're almost there, please. And these parents are going, I want the best for my child that I couldn't help. So he's trying to open a private school in the city of Albany, yet the board leadership no longer wants that to happen. Recently sought to purchase it. The purchase sale agreement sought $500,000 for this parcel, despite the fact the building would have otherwise been demolished. They're asking for a ridiculous price. He wasn't too upset until he noticed that there was, even though he was willing to make the change, he was going to find a way to make it happen. Super positive guy. He literally bought 40 acres and said, I took my own 40 acres. That's the kind of guy he is. He wasn't too upset in the end until he noticed that the deed of conveyance included a usage restriction on the building that stated it could not. Are you watching yourself in the back?
Nikki's funny.
Ridiculous. Oh my God. I didn't know. I'm literally watching the article. Meanwhile, I see her leg going up in the background. He said he wouldn't be too upset in the end because the deed of conveyance included a usage restriction on the building. He said it could not be used as a parochial or private school. So ultimately being like, you know what, we're going to charge an astronomical price, but you can't use it for this school, even though they knew that he was going to use it as school, essentially because they knew that he was not going to be teaching state curriculum. The state curriculum that has gotten these children in this horrific place to start with. Said he's never seen a purchase sale agreement where the seller tells the buyer they can't do, Kelly. Buyer, they can't do what they can or can't do with the building. They put in the contract that said the deed of conveyance shall contain a use restriction, cannot have school purchasing, open private or charter school, unless, here it is, unless the Doherty County school system that sucks on ice is providing educational services. I believe taxpayers want this school to be donated to us, and the school superintendent, this is what King Randall said, school superintendent told our community the only way they could donate the school is if we prove the school would be a public benefit for the community, and clearly our school and our track record for the exploits has been proven. We've been running for 2 years, 86% reading comprehension rate, and 0% have they actually left the school. It's absolute bullshit. This story's not over. I encourage you, if you are anywhere in the Atlanta area, nice leg stretches. Somebody said, Erica said, what is she doing? She got
Nikki dared me to strip. At least I didn't do that.
Babe, you're stealing the thunder of King Randall. Oh my God. It's hilarious. So anyways, so that's what's going on. What is she doing? I don't know. This is why we can't have nice things. We had delicious dinner tonight. Barbara says she's bored. All right. Anyway, so that's what's going on with King Randall. You saw him on our show. Please, I know some of you said you've written Josh Hawley. You've written people. If you live in the Atlanta area, if you live anywhere in Georgia, let people know that this is utter and complete bullshit. This is somebody that's actually doing something for the underprivileged Black community, and they're getting stopped by bullshit liberal legislation wanting to teach the curriculum of the state that has already failed these students. It's utter and complete bullshit. Story number 2, real quick, January 6th. If you haven't seen it, posted it, watch it again. It's pretty telling. If you can't see anything, there's videos. There said there have been 100,000 videos that have somehow been silenced from social media. They're being allowed somehow to be up for now. Watch them, share them, because everybody that called anybody that attended this protest an insurrectionist, they're actually factually wrong. Meanwhile, we watch cities and buildings burn the whole summer, and your country, your federal government is trying to pass over $1 billion of legislation to protect the Capitol from a bunch of people that you can see 99.9999% of them standing inside of a building and taking photos. Holy shit. Absolutely ridiculous. Share this video, let people know what's going on, and make sure you're watching, because I don't want to say it. I've already been dinged. If you can see, I'm back on YouTube, and I've also somehow only have 80 viewers when a couple weeks ago we were at 8 gazillion. So anyways, continue to share and make sure you watch that David Harris video. It talks about the jab and what's going on and the health behind it and all the stuff. I'm sure it's safe, effective, completely fine. It's not. So it's, again, if you want to take it, great, take it, but do not force it upon people, as there is clear research that it's a little bit in question. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I know, I got us banned. So what was 1/6? Talking about the legs. Was her legs for the people? I don't know. Oh, 1/6, January 6th. Kelly, it looks like you're not wearing any pants. She's wearing pants, I swear to God.
No, I'm not.
Then he goes on vacation. Your girlfriend says you're on. Gosh damn it. Kelly.
I'm trying to help.
No problem, guys. I wanted you guys to know kind of what was going on. Again, this King Randall stuff it's a microcosm of everything wrong with this country and with liberal leadership. But I have a good news story to tell you for the end of the day. So I've been obviously posting a lot about, and you know what? I know I always kind of like backtrack and I say I'm not going to put blunt force logic always on Be the Change. Once we get on ops lines, once I get home and settled and that gets going, great. However, I think it's important. My version right now of Be the Change is to spread absolute truth. And if that makes me divisive to a point, hopefully at one point people can start to see. And wait for it. A friend of mine, I won't name her, uber left, very liberal, ultra progressive, like AOC, woo, sent me a message. And I want to read it because I think it's important, because I've been talking a lot. Now she's videotaping me. She's like the woman in the restaurant. So she's going to make fun of me on Snapchat. So she always kind of like, actually, she's always very respectful on her pokes, but she lives in DC, ultra liberal, progressive, but also incredibly intelligent. This girl's always been very smart, and she's never been one of those that's like backing off from a fight. If she doesn't have a way to counteract what I'm saying, she doesn't do it. So this is what she said, because she is Jewish. From your progressive friend who agrees with most of what I've seen you say on Israel, Palestine, Hamas, this post hits home. I've been feeling about a lot of posts from my side of the aisle. This is great, guys. This is where I want you to share this, because her next response is phenomenal. It was a hiccup. She's so judgy right now. So she sends me a post from A Jewish Resistance on Instagram. And I said, no side is perfect, but this shit is ugly and misinformed what's going on. And it's the best meme that I saw was the whole chickens holding a sign for like chickens for KFC, because literally they're doing that mixed with a sign for Queers for Palestine, which was a real thing. There was it said Queers for Palestine, and they're holding a sign saying this. Ironic, because if they were in Palestine, they'd be lynched, dragged through the street, and killed. Just saying. So anyways, she says, when I said no side is perfect, but this shit is ugly and misinformed, this is an ultra-liberal fan of AOC to this point. I don't know where she stays right now, but says, so misinformed and so oversimplified. Nothing is like apartheid, because that is a very specific word for a very specific event in a very specific place and time. Ugh, this shit has me, wait for it, shut up, Casey. This shit has me questioning the mainstream media. Mind blown, eye roll. Guys, evil has shown its face so far that even the progressive and liberal side is starting to open up their mind. And even if it is a lot of the Jewish progressives right now that we're getting, we are...
Sorry, you sent me a Snapchat.
Oh my dear Lord Jesus. Anyways, guys, that's what's happening. That is Kelly. That is what we're seeing. So we are progressing. We are getting to the point. What's up, Soons? And last thing, guys, we raised $5,000 this last week. It shows that we're doing something, even though we're getting thwarted by Facebook, even though our lives aren't getting out there as much as they were before. Continue to share. There's only 40 people that have hit the likes and whatever, and 92 people watching. we can do better. Guys, that was a little blunt force logic. Be the change you wish to see in the world. Hasta luego.